let's realize one thing. Our path is different. The keys to success are built innately within you. Alright, in this video, I'm going to give you the number one factor that pulls you back in your discipline and 3 ways we can circumvent this without turning into, the Iman Gachi, monk mode, bald-headed, autistic freak. Okay? We're not going to get obsessed with Batman here. We're going to have real life strategies. See, people often drift through life without clear priorities and clear goals. They focus on trivial things, unnecessary things, and mistakenly, they assume that you will do the same, right? I mean, most people are only concerned with the present, with no thought of the future, with no thought of consequence. Now, this person speaks the language of happiness, ties themselves to the thought of the present, okay? They're all about enjoying the moment, enjoying the present. And I'm sure you've heard this. I've got this advice many times myself, and unfortunately, it can be twisted in such a way that prevents you from making progress, and here's why. What they don't realize is pleasure is an emotion linked to the past. It's always based on a memory, isn't it? Right? When you are having a good time, you're having a good time because you're going to think in the future about what happened, and you're going to smile about it, and you're going to laugh, okay? It is not a feeling that we can connect with our future self. It's not. So by tying ourselves to an emotion in the pursuit of happiness, in the pursuit of pleasure, we are tying ourselves to the past, in which we can never make it to the future. One of the greatest quotes a client told me, who was 65 years old, jacked as fuck, and he didn't need no blue pill. That's what he told me. So whatever he said, I listened, and he said to me, if you live in the past, you will never make it to the future, my friend. And so, living in the past, I used to do the same. I used to be the guy that used to drink at 9 a.m. on my work breaks. I used to be the guy that, after the game, I was drinking in the shower and then I'd go out have fun with my friends. I used to be the guy that was the life of the party. I used to be the guy that would go on crazy nights out with my friends and have amazing memories. This sacrificed years of my life. It sacrificed dreams that I had as a child. I suffered a lot because of it. And I never realized what was going on. At the time, I didn't. Because the same advice had been given to me. Enjoy the moment. You'll never get your 20s. You'll never get this, you'll never get that. But changes were made once I realized a few key things, right? I mean, what's life worth living if I'm going to live the same life as that guy over there? You get one shot at this. Okay, you get one shot. When you die, no one gets buried with you. When you die, there is no, let's go run that shit again. And yes, you can look at it in a way where it's, I'm 20 years old, let's have fun. Or you can look at it in a way where let's make this count. Our path is different. You know that each moment holds the potential for growth and progression and success. While others get caught up in distraction, we place ourselves in the state of envision, in the state of transformation. Step by step, purpose and discipline, we build for the future. We build for our plan. Because we're not here to live the same life as everyone else. We're not. Remember, it's not about fitting in with their pace. It's about setting our own. And it doesn't matter if you're 25. It doesn't matter if you're 21. It doesn't matter if you're 18. It doesn't matter if you're 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. It doesn't fucking matter. What fucking matters is that you live the life that you want. Because when you die, you are the only person that gets buried in that grave. There's no one else going in that grave with you. So who cares about the opinions? Who cares? Because yes, maybe when you start what you really want to do, it's going to be cringe. When I started this, it was cringe. People make fun of me behind my back. People laugh. People talk, they make jokes. But it's cringe until it's not, really, isn't it? It's one day it's not cringe, and one day you're able to do what the fuck you want to do. So let's live the what the fuck you want to do lifestyle. The path to that is 3 things. Firstly, you need to have fewer friends. In fact, my father used to tell me this when I was young, but I didn't fucking listen, did I? Because I thought I knew better. But you don't know better. So I'm telling you right now, having fewer friends is critical. Because friends, if you want to become successful, true success demands focus, time, and energy. And friends take that away. They do. When your circle is small, you're less likely to be distracted by noise, less likely to be distracted by the ties to the present, to the memory of the past. You're less likely to be obsessed with creating a memory, and you're more likely to set yourself down in the path for the future. By keeping your relationships intentional, you surround yourself only with those who uplift, inspire, and challenge you to grow. You know what's the beauty of getting older? I saw someone have a post about how they're 25 and having a quarter life crisis at 25. But I think I can't really disagree, but I think I can't really agree with that. And they talked about them losing their friends of childhood. But you know what the difference is? You're friends because of circumstance. You grew up in the same town, city, borough, you went to the same school, same football team. But as you get older, you selectively choose. And who you choose will determine who you become. Because if you hang with two smokers, you'll be the third. And if you hang with two millionaires, you'll be the third. That's really how it works deep down. And so you need to selectively focus. And you cannot selectively focus if you have 10 friends. You need 3 friends, 2 friends. That's what you need. Growth without the weight of unnecessary distraction. Remember, your path is unique, and success often requires solitude to master your craft. If you're not where you are now, you need to be able to sharpen your vision and maintain a relentless pursuit for your goal. That cannot be done if you have a lot of friends. It cannot be done if you are popular. Why do you think the popular kid at high school is a fucking loser right now? Why do you think the popular kid at primary school is a fucking loser right now? Why do you think the popular kid in college is probably a fucking loser right now? Why is it? Because if you're obsessed with being a name around 50 people, you'll never be a name amongst 5,000. You have to be obsessed with being a name to yourself before 5,000 people know your name. And that's how it works. The next point is the key difference in connections and friends. I'm not telling you to sit in a bat cave and have a monk mode and not talk to people, because then you're going to just become autistic and you're going to be obsessed with Batman. You'll shave your head a buzz cut and you won't talk to people and you will lose connection with your family. That's stupid. There's a difference between connection and network. Okay? Connections provide opportunity, primarily focused on strategic and professional outcomes. Individuals linked to your career, who are in your online space, who are in your industry, who are in your profession, these relationships are typically more transactional, of course, but that doesn't mean it's a bad connection. It doesn't mean that you can't be friends with them. In fact, oftentimes these are the best friends to have because they're in your space, they understand what's going on. But if they're not going to be your friend, they might as well be a connection. These connections help open doors for you. They help offer advice, present opportunities that align with your vision. The emotional bond might not be there, but that's okay. You know why? Because you've got friends. Because you've got 2 friends, you've got 3 friends. Friends, on the other hand, are people who you share that deep, more emotional connection. Friends who help you grow as a person, not necessarily financially, not necessarily professionally, but they help you grow and they help you reflect and internally realize what's going on in your life. A real friend is not a yes man. I've had yes mans. I don't like yes mans. I like people that will stand up to me and say, you did that wrong, you did this wrong, here's what you need to do. That's a real friend. Number 3 point, embracing solitude. This is more along the lines of the monk mode, but not really. I don't think so. I mean, it's a powerful yet often overlooked aspect of self-improvement. Solitude. In today's hyper-connected world, it's easy to get caught up in the external noise, the social medias, the friends, the parties. Step back from it all and reflect on yourself. But here's the difference between the solitude that they talk about in, monk mode and the solitude I'm talking about. Solitude, what I'm talking about, is not isolation for one's sake, but it's about creating the space you need to reflect. Create the space to cultivate self-awareness and a deeper thinking level. It's not something that you just stay in a bat cave and I'm not leaving until I do this, until I do that, No, it's about allowing yourself to listen to your thoughts and having a downtime, because downtime is important. Fostering creativity, that's really important. If you're trying to progress, you're obviously going to have to change and evolve. That doesn't happen without abstract thought. That's what makes a human, right? That's why you're not fucking I don't know, chimpanzee, because you've got a higher level of abstract thinking. So use it. Have time, downtime. Celebrate your strengths. Plan your goals. Assess your weaknesses. This time is crucial for growth. So if I'm thinking now on my own, okay, the amount of times I sat in my room in solitude for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, the amount of... Fuck that. You know what I did last summer before I blew up properly on social media? I was by myself for 5 days. I just drove across America. I just picked up a car in Texas and I drove through various states and national parks, slept in the car in the mountains, and I drove to California. And in that time, I wrote down my goals and ambitions for life. And I wrote down blow up on TikTok, blow up on Instagram, blow up on YouTube, have a personal community, have this, have that, and you know, it's going along. And that was one of the most important things that happened in my life, is when I had solitude. It wasn't a monk mode. I didn't go into there and be like, I'm not going to jack off, I'm not going to talk to... No, I went in there just because like I needed to see the stars and see the moon and fucking sleep in the trees. That's what I wanted. And I think that's really important, especially if you're a young man discovering himself, especially if you're young, especially if you're a young person trying to discover themselves. Okay, and if you are a young person trying to discover yourselves, and you need the tools for self-improvement, I've actually got a community. I've talked about this many times in my YouTube videos, but we go right into depth. And right now we've got around 400 members, training, diet, mindset, character creation, you know, creating your character, creating the life you want to live. You know, I've got hormone optimization, got everything in there. Basically, this video, what I did to gain discipline, is just a small portion of what it takes to become the person you want. And if you are interested and you are fucking serious, check down below. There's a link in there. You can go find out more information. But it's during that time when I was by myself that I realized a few things about the future. And sometimes you have to have the ability to trust your own judgment. And that comes from isolation and solitude, where you just have conversations with yourself. Because in solitude, you're less likely to be distracted by the opinions of other people. You're less likely to be distracted by friends. So I'm going back to number one, having less friends is important. Having less friends and having more downtime. In my community, I have a classroom in there called Hidden Metrics, where we talk about things that you've probably never thought about. And one of the main videos in there is, how many times a day are you bored? How often are you bored? I mean, that's a very good hidden metric on how much time you allow yourself to be creative. You need to appreciate your own path and recognize the journey you're on. Insecurities, challenges, they're going to come, whether you like it or not. You need to be able to cultivate the right focus to reach your potential. And it doesn't happen if you're just surrounded by noise and surrounded by distraction. So have less friends. Make distinctions between connections and emotional relationships. Spend more time by yourself. Okay? I started doing this, and at the beginning of the video I talked about what I was like, a bit of a party animal, people pleaser. Then people just stopped seeing me. In fact, when it first happened, and I don't know if anyone who watched this video went to Coffeyville Community College with me, but this is when it started, Coffeyville Community College. You know, people would make comments about it. They'd be like, we haven't seen you in months. They would say like, you're in your cave, or you're in your man cave. And it's true. I was just in that fucking room cutting hair until 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Nobody saw me for months. And that's when I realized the keys to success are built innately within you. You have everything you need. But if you need guidance, because I needed guidance, it took me way longer. It took me years to figure this out. You can figure this out in the space of 2 months. You just click the link below. Alright? Anyways, love you all for watching. I'll catch you later. Peace.